Psychological characteristics explain Hitler's brutality. Hitler's brutality stemmed from negative and abnormal psychological characteristics from his childhood as well as from his later political activities. During the last 2 years of World War II, when the battlefield situation began to tilt in favor of the Allies, the U.S. Office of Strategic Services, OSS, the predecessor of the CIA, secretly implemented a plan to thoroughly investigate and research Adolf Hitler's personality, in order to make predictions about the behavior and reactions of the Nazi boss. This task was assigned to American psychologist, Professor Henry Murray at Harvard University. After a period of research, Murray's 229-page report presented 7 psychological characteristics that contributed to creating one of the most brutal personalities in human history. According to Atlantico, an unhappy childhood. According to psychologist Murray, Hitler's unhappy childhood and low self-esteem were the biggest factors influencing his later behavior. As a child, Hitler was very small, sickly and unable to make friends with his peers. Therefore, Hitler spent most of his childhood in a state of frustration and loneliness. Hitler never did manual labor or participated in sports activities and was once rejected from serving in the Austrian army due to his poor health. This fact further fueled the young Austrian's admiration for violent power, his desire to demonstrate power and military conquest. Murray believes that, to express that desire, Hitler committed sadistic acts against his first sexual partners. Psychological syndrome of hating father and loving mother. Hitler's personality was also influenced by the psychological syndrome of Oedipus, loving mother but hating father. This syndrome is said to have arisen after Hitler accidentally witnessed his parents having sex. Although he always appeared obedient to his father, Hitler considered him a tyrannical and unjust ruler of the family. Hitler was jealous of his father's physical strength and dreamed of humiliating him to restore honor to his deceased mother. After his father's death, Hitler again wanted to find a new enemy for himself: impotence. Some of Hitler's former lovers shared that the German Nazi leader suffered from impotence, unable to have sex with women like a normal man. Because he could not prove his manhood in front of women, Hitler showed off his strength through sadistic acts and demonstrated his superior power over other men, said Mr. Murray. Indecisive and unable to withstand pressure. Despite his eloquence and his height of power, Hitler often fell into a state of cognitive crisis, anxiety, exhaustion under great pressure and had difficulty making important decisions. Expert Murray summarized Hitler's psychological development in 5 emotional stages, starting from mad anger, to crying and self-pity, then exhaustion, sadness, hesitation, then extreme disappointment and nightmares, and finally confidence and decisiveness when making strong and brutal military decisions. Shame about origin. Hitler exalted pure Aryan blood. But the Nazi leader himself did not have such a noble or perfect origin. Hitler came from a mixed-race peasant family and no one was pure German. Hitler's grandfather and godfather were Jewish. One of Hitler's sisters ran a restaurant for Jewish students in Vienna, Austria, and another was the mistress of a wealthy Jewish businessman. Hatred of Jews. Murray believes that the root cause of Hitler's hatred and contempt for Jews was that the Nazi leader believed that this race had robbed Germany of victory in World War I, which led to the collapse of the monarchy and the lives of millions of Germans at that time. Hitler vented his anger on the Jews because they did not fight him with fists and weapons. Therefore, this was an easy target and did not require military measures. Hitler could blame them for anything and felt happy when depriving some Jews of their wealth and power. Physiognomy. According to Murray's report, Hitler was often praised for his blue-gray eyes. But many experts believe that the Nazi leader's eyes were a distinctive, empty, and emotionless blue. Hitler had thin lips and his hair was cut back due to baldness. He was also known for his weak handshake and clammy hands. These are typical characteristics of people with cold, unenthusiastic, and inhospitable personalities. With all these characteristics, Hitler was incapable of forming normal relationships, and one could not expect pity or humane treatment from this man. Murray asserted.